Hello and welcome back to the Decades Challenge. What's going to be a little bit different about this episode is that I have already recorded it, but I am recording the audio for it into my voiceover later on just because I couldn't record my audio when I wanted to record the actual episode and I didn't want to get behind on the decades and everything. So that's kind of what's going on here. So bear with me while we get into the game and I kind of tell y'all what's been going on. First things first, we have a new addition to the household. And we've had a few deaths. As you can see, all of my Sims are very sad as I begin to take care of them because both Ruby's mother and father died. Her dad died first, and then her mom actually just died right before I started recording this. And 2 days later, after the father. So Wesley and Matilda are unfortunately gone, and it's really unfortunate because they were an amazing help with the kids. And as you can see right now, I'm just kind of doing damage control and checking on the kids, and I do play a lot of my game paused. I do pause, play, the whole thing. Oh, and here I was making a little family graveyard for them. But yeah, they're dead, and we have 3 toddlers right now. So we have the twins, Catherine and Harriet, who were born in the first episode, of course. And we also have a new baby girl named Frida. And if I remember correctly, and we'll see once we get back into it, Ruby is pregnant again. So she will eventually have another child, maybe 2, we'll see. But currently we have 3 girls, which means none of them are technically eligible to be the heir. Now, what can happen in the Decades Challenge is if, you have a Bennett family situation, like in Pride and Prejudice or something, what can happen is the eldest daughter's husband can become the heir. Now, I really don't want to do that because then we would lose the last name, and I would like to keep the last name. I guess we don't have to lose the last name. It just wouldn't be technically traditional for a man to take his wife's last name, but this is The Sims, and at some point you gotta say, do I really care that much? And the answer is no, I don't. It is The Sims. At any rate, we're still gonna try for a boy though, because it is still possible, and she's still young enough to keep having kids, and I am maybe not sane enough to say no and not have a 7 sim household, and maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe an 8 sim household. I don't know. I don't really want an 8 sim household, but if that's what it's got to be, then that is what it's got to be. At any rate, right now we are just decorating the cemetery a little bit. Nothing too fancy, just a little something to commemorate the help they were briefly able to give us. They were only in the game for 12 and I think 14 some days. It's either 10 and 12 or 12 and 14 some days. So they were not around for a long time. That's okay. I'm sure that Ruby and Clinton will be able to handle their children, and by that I mean mostly Ruby, though Clinton will, socialize with his children and do what he can, because again, I don't like to think that fathers were completely helpless, even if they were sexist back then, and there were definitely some who cared for their children, and especially because Clinton's a doctor, and he's gonna care about his kids maybe a little bit more than the average guy who was doing other stuff. All right, looks like here I am picking out which flowers I want to put on their graves. Just something small, something commemorative, something easy. And then I'm just changing the colors based on what I think they would have liked. Not really any particular reasoning here, but it's just what I thought looked nice. And I think that's it. Yep. And we're about to go back in game, and we're about to watch a little more gameplay. As we can see, everyone in the household except for Clinton is awake right now, even though it is very late, and that's because, well, we keep kind of weird hours, especially when she's pregnant and needs to go to the bathroom all the time, and we're taking care of 3 toddlers. Right now, they're all kind of taking care of themselves, thank goodness. They're just kind of relaxing, but oh my goodness, it kind of feels like doing the 100 baby challenge with this many toddlers, even though obviously in the 100 baby challenge there are way more toddlers at different points, but this is just, it's a lot. Oh, and here we see me saving my game. Gotta save the game every so often. My game doesn't usually crash, but I like to save just in case, because every once in a while, as The Sims does, it will have a little crash. And with my luck, it's going to be around a really important time. So I try to, do as much damage control in advance as possible. All right, jumping ahead a little bit, we are joining Clinton at work today. I never really played the Get to Work careers a lot when they first came out and I first got the game and the expansion and everything. It wasn't the part of the game that interested me the most. But having now kind of pushed myself to play them more often and given them more of a chance, I will say, while buggy and while sometimes frustrating, I do like them. It's kind of fun to be able to do every so often. A little frustrating at times because it's like you can't be promoted or it takes a very long time to be promoted if you don't actually go with them, and sometimes you want to do stuff at home with your other Sims, so that's frustrating. But in other aspects, it's interesting and it's fun, and it does give you a little break from the rabbit hole monotony and all of that good stuff. But yeah, so we're just gonna kind of speed through the day, and we will pick up when Clinton is all done. Rejoined just because Clinton he is about to be promoted. He did get promoted today, which means he gets a bonus, he gets a raise, he gets a few other items and interactions that I can't really read on my tiny screen right now, but you can look them up if you're really interested, or pause the screen and look at it right now. But yeah, this is really exciting. It means we've got a little bit more money that we can spend on our home or our children or family, or on paying off that loan, which I'm not sure what it's gotten down to at this point in the game, but I will give you an update on that very soon, probably in the next episode. So full disclosure, it actually took me a really long time to figure out how to age up the twins because it is their birthday. So Harriet and Catherine will be aging up. And I was like, isn't there a way to cheat it? But no matter what I was trying to do with MCC or just the in-game cheats, it was not letting me age them up. So I had to briefly remove the off-the-grid trait just so that I could have her bake a freaking birthday cake, because I also couldn't figure out how to buy them, which was so stupid, but I was just getting really frustrated. So I was like, I'll just remove it briefly, because even with off-the-grid at the time period, they would have been able to bake a cake. It's just the in-game functionality doesn't allow it. So at any rate, here we are. The twins are aging up. Here's where I was just, taking some pictures to commemorate the moment. Catherine is, of course, first, as she is the oldest. And as per the rules, every girl who ages up in this time period will get the creative trait. And there goes Catherine going outside to age up, and I'm also having her age up Harriet now. But every girl will get the creative trait. It didn't specify that they needed to have the artistic prodigy aspiration, however, so only Catherine gets the artistic prodigy aspiration, because even though I won't be focusing very much on this aspiration, I really didn't want to, in what I do focus on it, I really didn't want it to be boring and for them to all have the exact same aspiration. So Catherine, who will soon be changed out of that clothing as soon as her sister gets aged up, and I have a little speed through of that for y'all. She'll have the artistic prodigy aspiration, and Harriet will end up having the social butterfly one. Even though, you know, they're both creative, I just thought that because Harriet was the fussy one versus Catherine's clingy. I translated the fussy to maybe she's really talkative as a child. She just never got over her wanting things or just wanting to chit chat with mom and dad and her siblings as well. So she will be creative as well as a social butterfly, and we will see how that turns out. Yep, they both had to age up in the thunderstorm. I don't know why, but that is where we're at. And we'll see what the other, what Frida ends up getting. I haven't decided at this point, and I haven't played into my game to her aging up yet. So we're going to save the cake for later so I don't have to do that again. And now we are going to jump in to the Create a Sim speed through of the girls getting all changed. So what I did with the girls wasn't anything too fancy, and I'm going to leave you in about a second to let you listen to some music and watch this. But yeah, I picked, best of my ability, what looked the most 1890s in the Sims catalog. And I did have a few CC items, but they ended up glitching out, and I've been trying to figure out why, because I do have the mesh in the game, but they will end up being traded out for some other outfit at some point. So be on the lookout for that and enjoy the rest of this clip. Here's where you can kind of see the glitching and me going, what the heck is going on? So I just changed her into, I tried to change her to that at first, didn't work, and then I changed her to her sleepwear because, you know, it's good enough. And eventually I did some more looking into it, and I just ended up removing it from the game completely because it wasn't working. So there's that. This is going to be another speedy part. This is me rearranging and redecorating these two rooms to be more appropriate to a pair of children as well as one toddler, and then kind of hopefully making space and preparing for another child. That won't be as much in this video as it will be later on, but that is kind of the goal that I'm keeping in mind as I'm working on this. So I will let y'all enjoy this quick little speed build, and we'll get back to more gameplay in a second. Oh yes, and that is actually, I had stopped recording, but as you can see, Ruby just had her new babies. Babies as in plural, as in two. She had twins again. But this time we got another girl as well as a boy finally. So our last two babies, hopefully last two, we'll see, are Marguerite and Adam. And Adam will be our heir. Yeah, we're just kind of watch what's going on, but I'm mostly just using this as an excuse to explain to you guys what has happened, because apparently I did not record what I thought I had. At any rate, we now have 5 children, a 7-sim household. I am not going to purposely have any more kids right now. That would be way too much. But I am happy to report that we have our heir, and we are drawing very close to the turn of the century. It's pretty exciting. So to close this episode out, I'm going to show you a little create a sim update of when the twins age up into toddlers, the new twins, and what I dress them as, what they look like, and then I'm going to be signing off, I'm going to be signing off now, and you will end with a little video of a speed video of the toddlers being dressed. And the next time I talk to you guys, it will be while I'm actually recording an episode. It won't be pre-recorded, and then there won't be an audio over it, so hopefully it'll be a little smoother with the transitions, and there'll be a little more engagement. And we will also be coming on the turn of the century, which means a new decade, some new rules, some new or lesser restrictions, I guess you could say, and some changes to the house. I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too, and I hope you have a great rest of your day and enjoy this last little tidbit of the video. Bye!